Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese, and welcome to August. I intentionally pack things month by month because we're talking about classical China, which I guess in terms of history, that's documented records of societal trend or things happenings um, that this classical China era lasts longest, like takes the most volume of records, because it lasts several, 2 or 3 millennials, ever since the first emperor, Qin, started all the way till Qing dynasty. So it's a long stretch of time. That's the classical China era. It's basically the rulers from one dynasty to another figure out a way of this political system, how to put people in place, right? And so last month, we were talking about your positions, your social ladder climbing, so to speak, your positions in a society, right? Different roles, different titles. But this month, we're going to talk about invisible positions, the expectations, the teachings, the conversions of you to become part of the system. Because to incorporate the people to buy into your story, I mean, in today's deconstructive era, like what kind of a question everything in existence, to be able to incorporate people to buy in, the storytelling is the first step. You have to kind of make people believe this is the right way to live your life, to behave in a society, to interact with other people, with yourself. So this month gets more abstract in a sense of it's not visible, it's not a position that documented, observed, ever existed in history, things like that, right? Today's teaching is about more teaching. Like this month is more about moral, about societal expectations, about I guess the under, like the okay, below the water. It's not the tip of the iceberg. It's below it. What's in the body of water, the whole structure, the thinking behind it. So in that sense, like to understand the classic China, how it operates, this is almost like the key words, individual characters that frame people's mind to live, to I guess make peace with that system. All right, so the opening character is De. We came across this character several times in the past 4 years. Um, but this is a very special character because it's an abstract concept, right? Integrity, or can be translated as morals. So when I'm trying to make this connection between English and Chinese, I have to understand each side through the context of each language, what integrity means in English and what de means in Chinese, and how they kind of meet in the middle in terms of translation, like why I put integrity over there. So here is why. First off, on the top, the white color character is simplified Chinese, which I grew up in. And then the bottom is traditional Chinese used in Taiwan, Hong Kong. Okay, they look the same because I had an opinion of if this is a character so important in the core, like value, and also within the core of the language operating system, um, in the simplification process, it's going to be left alone. It's not going to be super simplified further because every stroke in it tells what that is. And this further, if you look like this is 2,000 years ago's dictionary, it looks the same with a tiny little bit of streamlining over there, but all the components are there. And so, what is integrity in Chinese. This 德 is made of 5 icons separately. Okay, the top, this cross-looking thing means 10. That's a roping technology to keep a record of up to, okay, we can count stuff up to 10 fingers, right? After 10 fingers, if you want to keep records of, okay, how many tens we come into, we tie a knot. So that's the bookkeeping in the past. If your neighbor loan you money or something, right, you want to record, keep that. So once it's tied a knot, even if you untie it, it probably is, you can tell the record are there. So it's kind of a permanent record keeping back then. So that's our number 10. Basically, this vertical line is the rope itself, and this horizontal line intersected with it is to tell you like that's a knot because it isn't. If it's not just like a tiny little thing on there, it's hard to see. So we have to make it obvious. Like that's the attention. So this horizontal line serves as a pointer. It's abstract. It's not a real thing. So in Chinese, we have this real thing, physical thing that you can see in the physical world, and we also have this abstract things. It's kind of attention pointer, like intersect with something to tell you, okay, this is what we're talking about. Okay, so that's rope number 10. Then the oval shape with 2 diagonal lines is one of the ways of renderings of eyes. We have different versions of eye. And of course, at the start of the language creation, all kinds of versions exist. And then eventually there, one dominates, and that becomes the standard or most commonly accepted version of how to abstract an eye. So here is simply an eye and with eyeball in it. So 10 eyes means, okay, 10 eyes means at least 5 people, right? It's 5 pairs of eyes that you observe. You and many people, 5 people at least, observe on something, so that you kind of balance each other out, and you don't have a bias. I mean, still within a group, there could be bias, depends on if you select as 5 people from the same kind of chamber, right? Then they will view things about the same. But Chinese put 10 eyes on there intentionally to tell people every one of us carry our own bias and blind spots. That's why we want to bring in 10 eyeballs. And by the way, when Chinese say 10, it doesn't mean just exactly 10. It means lots of eyeballs to see. Okay, see what? Here, this tiny little vertical line with this horizontal line, this bottom left corner is a Chinese way to say ground. And we also have like high ground, top left corner, create this frame, right? With one horizontal line and a vertical line. And it's always top left means high ground, bottom left corner means low ground. And here, low ground means ground truth. And you have 10, many eyeballs observing that. So you kind of come to the most fair or closer to reality observations about things and come into agreement about how reality is. We're not kind of delusional and biased. So this is the way to reduce all that, because Chinese probably back then already fully aware of our individual limitations. Okay, 10 eyeballs, looking at the ground, that's basically truth seeking. At the bottom is our heart chamber, representing our not only emotional but also cognitive processing. So this heart planting to this icon means whatever truth seeking, the conclusion or observations everybody agree on as truthfully as possible, you internalize, you take into your heart. I recently have a ChatGPT conversation about epistemology. So about this truth-seeking, right, effort, because it's a universal from the ancient all the way to to now, today, like well, how we understand things, can we validate that we're actually seeing something like real? We're even observing the real thing. So all that knowledge seeking or truth seeking, ChatGPT basically saying that we need to have this lived experience as humans. We have this lived experience, and then whatever teachings we came across, like in a book form, so it's indirect information or wisdom summarized by people before or by the bot. When it comes to us, we have to metabolize it. So as if knowledge, information, insights, way of living, facts of life, all that, we need to make it into our own. We need to accept it, embrace it, or make sense of the teaching. We have to internalize it. So that's why we have the heart in there. We have to process this, metabolize it. Okay, so that's both emotional and cognitive functions of there for Chinese heart. The left side here are 3 footsteps, particularly by the left foot. And Chinese use that to show walking. So Chinese actually use walking as a symbol of doing. English have this do, right? How simple that is. Just 2 character, 1 consonant, 1 vowel. That's the minimum you can create. Well, actually, I was wrong. There's I, right? I. That's just 1 word, 1 letter. So I was wrong. Okay. 2, it's still very, very minimal, right? So English put do as kind of universal, generic acting of humans. We do things. Chinese use walk because walk probably is also easy to observe. You move through space, you at least move from A to B, something changed, happened, right? So Chinese use that as a representation of your practice. You carry something out, you do things. So here on the right, if we're talking about truth seeking and truth internalizing, right? The left side means you act according to your understanding of this truth. So integrity in Chinese, I mean, integrity in English basically means that what you do to others is what you wish to be done to you, or the negative version of it, right? What you don't want to do to others, what you don't want others do to you, right? So it's kind of what's the word? Reciprocity. Okay, so there is this mutual way, this kind of sympathy, empathy thing that you expect to be treated the way you treat others, kind of equalizing over there. So that's the English integrity of how you behave. That's the ultimate like moral. We behave or treat others the same way. So that's kind of interpersonal relationship thing. Here, this integrity, I would say, in Chinese, 德, this is more about humans and the world. So reality, this ground observation applies to everything, not just interpersonal relationship wise, but how you follow the rules of nature, of this empire, political system, like economic, the way of life, aging, seasons, all that natural rhythm of things. I mean, of course, Chinese came up with all kinds of models to explain, to unpack, to see like how many components, how you dial your different, your slide, your values to hit the right spot to carry through life, because a lot of times it's a struggle, it's a trade-off, right? So this integrity basically means you live, you act based on what you know. And that's the integrity we're talking about. So here, it's basically your intention, your understanding of things, direct you, how you guide you. Let's see. live through life. You don't have this cognitive dissonance. Like you're thinking in one way, but you're behaving in another way. That dissonance is disintegrity. And that's morally wrong. All right. I hope I make it simple and to understand. Okay, 功德, 功 means merit or achievement. And we pair that together. 功德 means you not only achieve, like you do things, but also your integrity, like how you do, how you act. Because the integrity, people can observe your integrity level through the things you do. So when you keep contributing achievements to your whole community, which is Gong what about, and of course, Gong also from this political structure, from the ruler's perspective, if you make contribution to the empire, then you have more, you gained more merit. That's another thing. But in today's term, Gong would be you make impact to the society in a positive way, and all that pointing toward or further testifying to your integrity. So that's 功德. 德行. So here, 行 is exactly, you see this is exactly that. We just make it obvious. Like you have your integrity and you follow, you walk the way your integrity guides you. So that's 德行. You carry it out. You don't just say it. You do it. And 缺德, lack integrity. So 缺德 is a Chinese way to almost call somebody out as, you know, the A word or whatever negative word of a whole variety in English. Chinese would call out to people behaving badly, treating other people badly, being dishonest, things like that as 缺德. And that's a pretty big accusation, right? So we use that with caution. All right. So here we go, 德. And this is a random poster and with integrity over there. And you see we are one. This integrity probably means like a synergy of the whole society. We are one thread on this big fabric of society. And that's the integrity talking about here. But I guess the Chinese also have this, we are this one individual, live in this reality. And we need to live according to all the rules, all the levers, all the visible, invisible forces in our life, and live without cognitive dissonance. That's our integrity. 德. Thank you for your time. See you another day.